They are just absolute junk. Right, so let's have a look at what I have installed for these guys. Here we go. G'day guys, Dave from West Oz RC here again today, and I'm going to be putting in the new Surpass 28,000 RPM fans into my Infraction. I'm going dual. I'm going one in the motor, one in the ESC, and I've got a special treat for all you guys that have unfortunately have burnt your ESCs due to the fan being such a low RPM. These fans here, they come with a JR plug. They got a female and male JR plug. The JR plug goes into the ESC here, and these Surpasses have JST plugs. Now the JST plug is only a 2-pin plug, so you have to get yourself some of these, and they are a Y piece. The Surpasses go into the red side, and the JR end goes into the ESC. So that's your JR, and they are your JSTs. So let's get into it. All right, so first of all, you have to remove the screws that hold in the cover that hold the fan on. Pull the plug out. What you're best off doing too is unplug the motor and pull those cables through this side. Pulling the cover up, spinning it over. Underneath here, you'll see your fan. Push the wires through from the fan. You can pull the blue plug out. And voila. So these don't actually say how many revs these are, but I'm going to take care of that in a second. Right, so we've got the Surpass 28,000 RPM fan going in. So we just feed that wire up in here. Feed your blue wire back from the motor. And what you want to make sure, guys, is that you have the R facing up. So that way you'll have the fan blowing in the right direction. So you've got to push air into the heatsink, and we've got that fan looking pretty good in there. So that's the fan in, guys. Drop it back down. Green with my 4 bolts. You can see that it holds them in pretty well. Screw them down, not too tight, we'll snap the casing. And there we go. Right, so plug your JR end of the plug into the ESC. Plug the other end of the fan, which is your JST plug, into there. Just pop on a battery and just check the flow of the fan. Turn it on. Grab a little bit of plastic or a bit of paper, whatever, and it sticks. If it sticks to the ESC, you know you're in the right direction. Listen to that. That's just crazy. So I'm assuming that these stock standard Spectrum fans run only at about anywhere between 7,000 and 9,000 RPM. 28,000 RPM, guys. Listen to that thing 3 times the revolutions, and that is just awesome. So listen to this, guys. This is the fan. I'm going to plug the fan in from the motor. Make sure you put that JR in the right way, because the negative has to go to the front. Listen how quiet that fan is. Listen to that. Pathetic. Guys, no wonder we're all burning out ESCs. You know, these are absolutely pathetic beyond comprehension. Like, they are just absolute junk. Next thing I'm going to do is take the fan off the motor. Grab your Y piece again. Plug that with negative to the front. There we go, guys. Plug it back in there. You can put the first fan plugged in. Now, they've got a little groove in them. Can't see, can't go wrong. Right, so the next thing, we're unscrewing the screws that hold in the cover for the fan in the same way. So the whole fan is just bolted straight onto the heatsink. So we pull the screws out with a little cover plate. Another piece of junk. I'm going to try and see if I can read that. No, I can't. Wonder if you guys can. I don't know. It's just, they're garbage anyway. So I'm going to type in that serial number or that item number, whatever it is. I'm going to check the RPMs on that. But I can tell you now, it wouldn't be any more than 7,000 RPM. Thing, we get the second fan out. Look at that, guys. Look how awesome that looks. They just look brilliant. Surpass from Rocket RC. Highly, highly recommend it. I run these in my Creighton, and I've put this also in the Max 6 because this here was the Max 6 fan that was in my Mojave, and I pulled that straight out and I put one of these in there, and that is a 9,000 RPM, if you can see that. 9,000 RPM, Cyclone. Cyclone. I want a Hurricane. I don't need a Cyclone, I just need a Hurricane. Right, so we pop that. You can put the wires wherever you want, up the front or the side. I like to put them at the front. Pop those screws back in there. Now these are 35mm fans, guys, 35mm fans. They come in 30s, 35 and 40s. And obviously probably bigger if you wanted to go. Right, so we pop that in there like that. And just doing this is going to keep that motor so much cooler because I was getting a few high temps. Rightio. So all you infraction nuts out there, like myself, you all know what these sound like when the fans are on. I'm going to plug this side into the JST plug. And this thing's going to sound like a damn rocket ship. Here we go. Yeah, boy. Listen to that. Now that is cooling 100% better. 3 times the speed, 3 times the speed. If that doesn't keep stuff cool, you can actually feel that it's just coming through like absolute nuts through there. And off the side of the ESC, it's just crazy. There you go, guys. And that is an awesome bloody setup for your infraction or your limitless, whichever one you got. I highly recommend the Surpass Hobby fans. Absolutely brilliant. Right, so let's have a look at what I have installed for these guys. Right, so I've chosen this spot right here for the little surprise that I've got for everyone here. And this is for all you guys that have had their ESCs burnt out because of the simple fact that these fans are absolutely garbage. It's a real shame that you guys have had to go through that. Right, so here we have the fan for the motor. Here we have the fan for the ESC. And this is the fan from the Max 6 that keeps breaking blades every time I used to jump with my Creighton. That is also going on there. And here we go. That's for all the ESCs that you guys have destroyed. There you go, guys. There's justice for you. Sorry about all the burnt ESCs. That's as good as they get. That's all they deserve. Oof, they feel good. Right, so it's time to clean up all the cabling. Okay guys, that is it. Now that is some serious damage. Listen to those little beauties. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, share, and I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.